We are joined with Dynamo 2 head coach Kenny Bundy. Kenny, another home game coming off a key win. Just kind of walk us through your thoughts heading into this next matchup.
Yeah, the team performed well last weekend, and we want to keep that momentum. Again, it's a busy week for the club, so it's managing all the games and the schedule coming up. So I think the intensity and the quality has been there this week as we continue to improve on the season.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, there are questions. Dustin, go ahead.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, we've seen some reports and things about Juan Castilla possibly signing in Colombia. Is there anything you can comment on that?
No, I can't comment on that. That's uh, for someone else to speak about. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Just one more for me. Obviously, you guys got back to winning last week. Just what does that do for the confidence to boost the guys? After that losing streak, getting another win.
Yeah, it's a massive result because not only is it North Texas, but obviously the disappointment of the results in the prior weeks is something that you have to manage as a staff, and you have to keep building on obviously why you're not getting those results. But there were so many good moments in those games that we needed to continue to highlight to make sure that the guys continue to believe in what they're doing. I think the experience going through that month of not getting results is going to end up being a positive, especially for the younger players, where they understand, what it's going to take to get results in a professional league. So I'm very happy with that result, more or less for the sake that the guys put together a full performance. Wasn't the prettiest at times, but to go down a man and then have to grind out that last little bit of the game is a key piece of what we need to continue to get those 3 points.
Victor, go ahead.
Hey, Kenny, obviously a different season. Just wondering, where do you evaluate the team at this point in the year? Obviously, keeping in mind that player development is also an objective of yours, not just getting to the postseason.
Yeah, look, I think it's both, right? I mean, the greatest thing for player development is to find a way to get results and then obviously make the postseason. But is that the top priority for us? No, we want to make sure that we're developing the guys in a way that in the future they're able to put it all together for the first team or beyond. So I think it's been an interesting year. We've progressed some guys much faster than we ever thought that they were going to do. And it's been exciting to see those guys be able to go out and get results. Now, obviously, the consistency of a lot of things this year is a bit different than it has been, and that's a good thing. We've got new young professionals on the first team that need to get their minutes with us. We've got new academy guys coming in, and then we've got those key guys that have come back for the second team. And you can feel it this week. I think that result last week and the way that we got that result, it gives us momentum going into Minnesota. And like every weekend, we are kind of at the mercy of players getting the opportunity to help the first team train, getting the opportunity to travel with the first team, and then making sure that the group is here that's here is really developing on what they're going to see on Sunday. So it's been an exciting year. But I think the player development side of things, it's really impressed me what these guys have brought, especially with what we had projected at the beginning of the season.
What can you say about the guys that are, I imagine some of them are with the team in Orlando, getting opportunity for the Leagues Cup, getting this opportunity also against Santos this coming week?
Yeah, it's a great thing. Obviously, we'll see what the lineup looks like and things like that. But a lot of the guys that spend time with the second team every Sunday, that's their opportunity to prove in a game format what they've done throughout the week and what they can contribute to the first team. So I think it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes about how important this level is, and obviously the trust that the first team has to have in us, and also the fact that we have to continue to look at it on a player-to-player basis.
Xavier, the other night in the All-Star game, being part of those festivities, and what can you speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I told him, I was like, you rattled it off the crossbar in extra time instead of just putting it in the top corner. No, I mean, I gave him. Listen, I'm so proud of those guys. Zabe and Tate, and obviously Hector. It's an opportunity to represent the club and represent themselves, and I think that the platform for Xavier there, again, being honored as one of the top 4 goalkeepers in Next Pro, and if you look at that group of guys, you can say they're the best in Next Pro, but they're probably the up and coming guys in the MLS. So I'm just really proud of him to get that opportunity to have that spotlight. And then Tate obviously playing in the MLS Next All-Star game, which he deserves. He's been excellent when he's been with us, and he's a guy. We talk about player development a lot, and we talk about giving these guys an opportunity. There's also a balance of making sure guys are ready for that opportunity, and you don't put them in an environment that they can't handle, and you actually regress them. Tate's done an unbelievable job of continuing to evolve each week, even through games where he's maybe made a mistake. And I look back last week, and it's a great opportunity for us to help him because, the goal is not his fault, but at the next level, he can prevent that. And the conversation afterwards, even the conversation at the water break, it was, you've got to push past that. You've got to learn. You've seen it now, and it doesn't happen again. And without him grinding every week to be in the squad, he wouldn't have opportunities to make those mistakes or adjust those small little things with us. And his personality, Zeke's personality, Sebastian Rodriguez's personality, they're here to improve. And the pressure they're putting on themselves is something I sometimes have to dial back a little bit because they're putting so much pressure on themselves to get results with this group, which is a great thing. Sometimes I have to remind them that, a lot of these experiences, they can't mirror in training. These are game experiences, and they're way ahead of schedule for us. So I'm just very proud of all those guys, and obviously the club represented really well.
Yeah. Did you get to go with him? I didn't ask. I just
no. I wish I could have. It was too close of a turnaround. We had to train, but no, we had it up, and obviously I would have loved to be there, but I'm just. It's great when they come back and they've had that experience.
Right. I don't want to dive too much into Castilla's move. I know you can't really speak on that, but his time in Houston, you obviously had him through the academy days. Just what can you say about his development and maybe where he needs to work on just what you've seen from him?
Yeah, I think. Look, I have a really great relationship with Juan, and we've even from the academy days, I think he realizes how much I believe in him and how hard I'm going to always be on him. And that's just my personality. My personality is sometimes really intense when you see players that have the potential that Juan still had when he was younger. And when he came into the club and we started working together, obviously, my goal was always to get him to reach his goals, and he's just a great young man. And again, for me, I'm always going to be a person who is there to support him for whatever it is, and I think that's something that I will value. And he's a great kid.
And obviously, there's other players kind of coming through the pipeline. Just want to get your thoughts on that side, just the development. I mean, I know it's not up to you ultimately, who moves up and who gets minutes, but just how do you evaluate how this program's going and in that sense of the player development and getting players ready to move up to that level?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, Victor. Honestly, right now, we have 8 to 9 players that are with us in training every day that are from the academy. So some of them are rising under 15s to go into the under 17s, and some of them are under 17s that will stay there. And then a couple of them are guys that are rising from under 17s to under 20s. So we have a significant amount of guys in the group training every day. I've been here for a while, and I can honestly say in the past, we've had players. We've had young players that I think if the second team had existed at the time would be key guys in that. This is the first time since I've been here where I truly do believe from the under 15s to the under 17s and even below, we have a pipeline of guys that will make the second team very interesting over the next couple of years. And I've never said that before. You didn't see it last year because we didn't have the guys that were ready. Last year we had more under 19s aging out that were put into the second team. And I'm really excited about what we're seeing. You know, we've got a kid last week, Lalo Estrada, who is an under 15 going into the under 17s. He made the roster, and he made the roster due to merit. You know, I think obviously when you look at him, it's kind of funny because he's still a little kid, right? He's still somebody who's maturing into his body and maturing into himself. But he showed at training he deserves to be on the bench. And that to me, I think is a product of not us pushing the fact. I don't want to be a second team coach that just does these things to be able to say, hey, look, we've got all of these young kids. No, they need to earn the opportunity to be on the bench and playing these games. And I think that when they realize that there are things they can control to get these opportunities, then we're fast tracking some of our best young talent. But I'm really excited, and I'm really excited with the direction the academy is going because Dan and I sit in a really interesting position where we sit in between Tony, the under 17s coach in the academy, and Ben and his staff with the first team. And our job is to make sure that, you know, we're helping guide and develop players from the first team coming down and the academy coming up. And not only that, but bringing in players that can help the first team specifically to the second team. So I'm really, really excited what the next couple of years are going to bring, especially with some of the talent that we're seeing over the summer.
Thanks, Kenny. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, man.